Hello, and welcome to my Facebook Live event where I will be talking about how I make my YouTube videos. Whether you're watching live or joining me in the replay, I'm glad that you could come. My name is Colin Mustful. I'm a Minnesota author and historian. I have written 4 novels related to the settlement and native history of Minnesota. And over the years of being an author and historian, I have created many YouTube videos related to the history in my novels. I've written many blog posts about the history, and then I turn those blog posts into videos in order to reach a broader audience of people and to make that history a little bit more accessible. And I've learned a lot of things about video and audio editing that I never expected to learn as a writer. But they're important skills, they're valuable skills that can be used for many purposes. And recently, my YouTube channel has seen a spike in viewership. And so I decided I wanted to take a little time and share with readers and viewers a little behind the scenes of how I make my YouTube videos. So this is only going to be from my experience. There are many different tools available for creators out there, and I'm just going to show what I use and what I've learned. So I guess to start, I'll just go over a little bit of my research. So I'm going to share my screen here and just show you from the most recent YouTube video that I created, which was about the border battle between Minnesota and Wisconsin when they were deciding where to set the western Wisconsin border. And so here I have the Google Doc that I start with. Just reading through this notification here. Okay, so back to the Google Doc. I've always got to start with research. So here it just gives you a little bit of an idea of the research that goes into. I've got 10 pages here of research on the blog post. Here's the actual article that I wrote talking about in 1846 when Wisconsin applied for statehood and they had to decide where to put the border. Well, I had to take a lot of notes, and so it always starts with research. And these are notes I took from another historian, and then I'm able to put that all together into paragraph form into a blog post. And this is actually the script that I end up reading when I create the YouTube video. So from there, I go to an application called Logic Pro, and that's what I just had open there a second. It's called Logic Pro X. So I'm going to show you that here. And I always start just by recording the audio. This is the final here. I'm trying to open up a different version for you. Okay, here we have it. So I always record with a Blue Snowball desktop microphone. There are many different microphones you can use. That's the one that I prefer. And this is called a digital audio workstation. You know, it starts out blank. This right here is called a track, and you can add tracks by hitting this plus button, and you can add different software instruments. I always just add audio. And this is what the WAV file looks like. And to record, I just hit the red record button here and speak into the microphone.
The original border battle, Minnesota versus.
You could hear my voice there. That was my recording. And right now, you can see below is I'm recording what I'm saying right now. And so I'll read the text, and what's nice about this is it's a really powerful tool is I can screw up and then keep going. So if I want to say something and then I stutter, I can go back and start that again. Instead of stuttering, I can pull that out. So if I were to stop the recording now after I've recorded the entire blog post, I can zoom in with this here, and whatever part that I want to take out, I can go back and listen to. Below is I'm recording what I'm saying right now. And I can actually just swipe and take it out if I don't like how it sounds. And then I can drag this over and bring it together. And sometimes that gets a little complicated with breaths and you want it to make it sound natural, but it's just a really easy way to cut and change your audio. So anytime that I'm speaking, I don't have to speak it exactly perfect, because I can just stop and keep reading and go back and change it. So that's what I do in Logic, is I just record the blog post and I put it all together into one file, like this one you see up here, this one right here, into one large continuous audio file. So from there I go into this called Final Cut Pro, and here is where I put in all my images. And I actually drag from Logic, I bounce the file as an MP3 file, and then I drag that file into an empty project here in Final Cut Pro, my video editor. And you can see the waveform here of this, and if I go like this,
The original border battle, Minnesota versus Wisconsin.
and then so there you can hear my voice from the file recorded on Logic, and then I have these images that I can just drag into, I can upload into Final Cut Pro, and then I select those images and I can just drag it right in here, and then that'll show up on the video.
Separated by the St. Croix and Mississippi rivers, the states of Minnesota and Wisconsin have a well-established...
So this one's not showing up because it's superseded by that one. And then text, I hit this text button, and I can add in different formats of text. I can just drag it here and type in what I want to type, and that's how that shows up. And then you can see here there are different transitions between the images, and I can drag and change the length of each image so that it fits. And then you can see I have this image
more than 155,000 people. Wisconsin.
So I can actually select the image and select crop and hit Ken Burns, and I can pick a starting point and an end point, and that's how I make the moving images. And I just connect all those images, and so you hear my voice, so you never have to see me. Here I have a longer part of text that I just extended as its own like visual file. And so you can see I have many different images that goes into this, anywhere from 3 to 12-minute video. This one I think is 8 minutes. And I even take screenshots from text I find on, this was from Google Books, and I took a screenshot, and then I'm able to share that on my video. So that's how the visual gets in, and then I'm able to save this as an MOV file, and then I actually go back into Logic. And let me open the next file. So that creates this movie file where you can see in this top, you see here it says movie. This is where that visual part is. This is where the audio is. And then I add this other audio, which is the background music. And I can fade that in and fade that out if I need to. For instance, on this one, I faded in. This is called automation. And let me show you where I get those audio files. So there's a couple different options. Logic has this great thing called Apple Loops. And I can choose from any of these thousands of sounds and I can pick the instrument that I want to use. If it's a piano or strings, I can pick the genre. Usually I'll pick something like orchestral, and a descriptor. Maybe I want some dark or intense, and then that will narrow it down, and I can then listen to these. So maybe I want something dramatic, and I like that one, and then I'm creating a new track, so I can just drag that in here. And now that music is on top of this movie file, and then I can drag it out and make it as long as I need it to be. So that's pretty cool. But usually I actually go into the YouTube library, and let me show you that. So YouTube has a free audio library. Here's my YouTube studio where I publish all my videos, and on the left column here is an audio library. And this is created by other people, but it's royalty-free music that anyone can use. Some require that you give attribution. Some don't require any attribution at all. I always do give attribution in the description of my YouTube videos. So this is being a little bit slow because of the platforms that are running right now. But here you'll now see it's starting to populate with all that free music. In the same way as Apple Loops, you can select the different genre that you want, the different mood that you want, and you can look through. You can see their length, license type, so this means that it's free for anyone to use, and then you can download it. So that's kind of, it's dance and electronic, it's dark as you heard, and so I could download that and then upload it directly into Logic. So now I have the video file, I have the music added on, and this is kind of what it looks like. It's
separated by the St. Croix and Mississippi rivers. The states of Minnesota and Wisconsin have a well-established, recognizable boundary. But the borders of each state and the boundary that separates them was not always certain.
Another thing that I should add, and I'll go back a little bit, is the audio. I do play with my voice a little bit. So when I bring in this audio here, you can see I have this de-esser because when you say an S, it's kind of high pitched, so that can take some of that out. And I have this channel EQ, and this changes my voice a little bit depending on where I drag these points here to amplify some parts of my voice and take out either high or low pitches. So that's one way to make the voice just sound more professional, more like it's in a studio. I actually record these in my apartment. I do have some sound paneling, but I'm right next to a highway and there's always some distractions, so it's not always perfect, but these tools really help make it better. So the last thing I'll show you then is just in my YouTube studio how then I can upload the video. So I go to my dashboard and click on the Create button. Here you can see the latest video that I was just showing the border battle, Minnesota versus Wisconsin. And I just click on Upload Video. And then I can actually go to my hard drive. I save everything on an external hard drive. And you can see I have several different files here, beginning with the original Logic file, then the MP3 file, the movie file that was saved from Final Cut Pro, and then the final file, which is an MP4. And I just drag that in there. And that takes anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes to upload. And here's where I can add in the title and the description. I actually have pre-saved so that I have a description there, but then I'll add in all the sources. And I'll actually show that here on the Google Doc. So as I get all those images, I want to make sure that they are free to use. that they're in the public domain. So I'll use a lot of images from Wikipedia, but here I include the link and just a title for each image. And as I go, I record those on this Google Doc, so then I can copy and paste that into the description into YouTube. So you can see this one, it is a larger file. It says it'll take 19 minutes. I can also create a thumbnail. I use Canva for that. I didn't think I was going to show that, but let me show you Canva, because that's another powerful tool that I use to create my YouTube videos. So this is a graphic design software. It does require a subscription for most of the content, although some of it is free. It's a little slow to load here, but I'll get to it eventually. So I have one folder as YouTube thumbnails. And when I create a design, I just select the size as a YouTube thumbnail. And they have many templates. So in this case, I did use a template, but then you can change and adjust the template as you want. And you can drag and drop different images onto Canva to make it look exactly how you want it to look. So this is where I create the thumbnails. It's pretty slick, it's pretty easy to use, and then I download that, and then I will upload it here into Upload Thumbnail. And there's a few other things. I won't just wait for this to upload, but there are a few other things that you can do. Here you see video elements. That's where I'll add an end screen, like the place where you can click on the next video or click to subscribe. And then, yeah, then I publish it. So I'm going to close that out. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Unfortunately, you'll see them. I'm actually shooting this live video on Ecamm Live via a stream key, and that doesn't allow me to see any comments. But hopefully you found that informative and interesting, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on email. It's mnauthor@colinmustful.com. You can always just search me on Google, Colin Mustful, and you can connect with me on Facebook or Twitter or other various outlets. So thanks so much for watching my video. Hopefully you found that interesting. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, check it out. I have more than 100 videos. I also have 4 novels out there about the U.S.-Dakota War of 1862 and other related history. So I hope you'll check those things out. Okay, thank you so much.